Welcome, 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 welcome to Holiday Hoopsgiving. Holiday Hoopsgiving, we got us a good one tonight. We have Montverde Academy taking on Wheeler Wildcats. This is the battle of champions. You have the national champions taking on the Georgia State champions. We should have a good one. I am Sly the Sports Guy, and I am joined to my far left by National Coach of the Year, the one and only Mike Thompson, and to my immediate left, the #1 recruiting analyst in the nation, Mr. Justin Brantley. How you fellas doing?
Doing great. Excited to finish out and close out an amazing weekend here. Two great teams. I'm excited to watch Kevin Boyle coach. I love to see him coach. I love to see his teams play. I'm also excited to see Larry Thompson coach the Wheeler Wildcats. I love to see Larry coach. I love what he's done in building this program. So absolutely, this could be a big-time basketball game.
Kevin takes the best players in the country and coaches them up. I mean, his teams are always very good. It's that combination we talked about of the best talent with a good coach who holds them accountable. They do a great job. Larry does the same thing. Probably not getting kids on a national level, but they do a good job.
Should be an interesting matchup. Let's see what happens. Montverde, they'll be in all purple with the yellow numbers and the white trim. Wheeler, they'll be in all white with yellow numbers and blue trim. Here we go, man-to-man defense. They'll work things around and try to set this offense up. Shafino moves it over now. Derek Whitehead.
And that's the matchup I want to see right there. Derek Whitehead going at Isaiah Collier. Whitehead headed to Duke. Collier, one of, if not the best pure point guard in the class of 2023.
Ball stripped away by Reynolds. Reynolds taking it. Oh, get that mess out of here. My goodness, Dylan Mitchell didn't want any of that on his rim. Pull up three, hits the corner of the rim, no good. Now we'll go back the other way.
Yeah, Collier matchup with Whitehead. That's two really good players right there.
Two primetime point guards. Collier, consensus, depends on who you ask. He may be the #1 point guard in his class. Derek Whitehead, depends on who you ask. He may be the #1 point guard in his class.
2022 versus 2023. I really like what Collier brings to the table, though, and I think that, Montverde kind of blew the doors off of Real Salt Lake last night, 84-39. Wheeler, this is their opportunity to show, hey, we're one of the best teams in the country, and we can play with anybody. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they play against this Montverde team and how Montverde responds after kind of having a walkthrough yesterday. Now they have to play a real basketball game.
Here we go. Was talking to a couple of coaches. Oh, look at that, wide open underneath the basket. Vincent Iwachukwu throws it down for two. Can't let him get lost by himself underneath the basket. He's going to maybe pull down a rim.
Hard for a guy that tall to get lost. He's a big boy.
Attacking the basket, waits on the pump fake, puts it up. No, doesn't get it.
Just pay attention to how good they are defensively. I mean, they're just outstanding defensively.
Ooh, Vincent, he got caught on the side of the rim on that one. On the side of the backboard, I'm sorry. You don't see that happen too often.
No.
3 ball, top of the key, bottom of the net, give it to him, Jelani Reynolds. Gamery with the steal, off and running, Collier in the open court. Isaiah throws it down. Isaiah Collier.
Isaiah Collier, currently ranked number 15 by ESPN, number 15 player in the country in the class of 2023. They have 3 point guards ranked above him. I think this is his opportunity to say, I don't know about that one.
Jumper counted, Derek Whitehead.
Montverde had about 3 possessions, bad possessions. Whitehead went and got the ball, brought it up the floor, and ended up making the basket.
Gamery for 3, Javon Gamery.
Wheeler shooting it well to start with.
And we have a quick timeout. You don't often see Montverde face a challenge, but the Wheeler Wildcats are coming out here gunning.
And there's Collier going up above the rim. And I think it's important to talk about. You say you don't often see them face a challenge. Let's talk about this lineup from Montverde. Drake Whitehead, he's signed with Duke. Vincent Awuchukwu, he's signed with USC. You've got Amir Ali, number 22 ranked player in the class of 24. Jalen Hood-Schifino signed with Indiana. Sky Clark, not playing, signed with Kentucky. You know, up and down this roster, Kwame Evans, 6'8", number 3 player in the class of 2023 from Baltimore. I mean, you can look up and down this lineup and see blue blood players that are going to go on to play at the highest level of college basketball in the next year or two. And Wheeler's not phased. Wheeler walked out and said, you know what? You have to put on your shoes one at a time, just like me. You have to lace them up and you have to tie them, and everything's equal inside of this 94 feet. I don't care where you're ranked at. You're going to have to play me man to man every second on this clock. So I'm happy to see the way that Wheeler's playing right now.
Done a great job coming out to get started.
Coach Larry Thompson, back-to-back state championship winner in Georgia. He won 2 championships at Green Forest before he came to Wheeler. Uh-oh, turnover. They'll go the other way. Reynolds will pull it back, found himself wide open. Long range 3.
That was not what they wanted right there.
They did not want that out of Page. They'll shovel it over now. Whitehead from long range, can't get it. Sky in for the rebound is Reynolds.
I like that rebound there from Jelani Reynolds.
Burns couldn't get it to drop. I got to check on Burns. Burns just signed, just committed somewhere.
I don't want to see Wheeler get too comfortable with the outside shot. They have the advantage. I want them to take their time and find the right play. You know, make it happen in the right situation. Kyle Burns, he signed with Darius Nichols over at Radford, which I think is an amazing fit. I really like what Radford does. I like, Darius there. He's got his brother on staff, Shane. I think that that's a really good fit, a really good program.
That's why he's #1 in the business. I just say a name and he tells me exactly what the kid's doing. Justin Brantley, folks. The long range 3 from Isaiah.
I think you've seen two pretty bad threes right there after.
Oh, what a pass. The nice drop off to Vincent Iwuchukwu.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you have a nearly 7-footer that runs the floor like a gazelle following behind you, you can just throw it up and he finishes at the top, you're always going to be in good shape. And I think Wheeler, it was a good timeout call. They need to talk about it, make sure that they're got everything moving in the right direction. I think that they're talented enough to play with this Montverde team. Coach Kevin Boyle is one of the best coaches in the country. He could be coaching somewhere at the college level if he wanted to. So you're going to have to play a perfect game to beat them.
And that's interesting. One thing we love about Holiday Hoopsgiving, not only do they bring you great athletes and great teams, you get some great coaches. Kevin Boyle, what can be said about what he's done at Montverde? And the thing I like about him, not only is he a great X and O guy, we were talking about, Mike was talking earlier and he was saying, you guys were saying how he brings in all of this elite talent and he gets them to mesh together. People don't understand how hard it is. You think, hey, just give me a bunch of 5 stars and I'm going to go out there and win. But you have to get these guys to play together. Now, how do you get these egos? And people say, well, they're in high school. No, they have massive egos in high school also.
Well, and I'll tell you, the problem is it's not the players, it's the people behind the players.
Yes.
Right? The parents, the fans, social media. There's so many egos involved. So, getting them to buy in and understand, hey, this is bigger than what you think it's about, right? Like being able to point to guys like Ben Simmons and say, hey, do you want to be a lottery pick? Or do you want to be just a very good college ball player? And he has the examples in the history to be able to show, if you trust my system, if you sit tight, learn your role, learn how to play basketball, I can get you to where you want to get.
Malik Renaud.
The difference you see right now, Wheeler took 3 bad possessions and shot the ball outside, came out of the timeout with a turnover. Montverde's going to the block every time with something on the inside to score with. That's something that
Another contested three from Wheeler.
Yeah, and they're going to contest stuff, but they're getting their stuff at the rim.
Oh, look at that. Derek Whitehead going coast to coast and laying it in for two. Look at Derek absorbing the contact here. That's a little bit of time in the weight room right there.
Yeah, I mean, Montverde has some of the best facilities in the country. They're keen on player development, not just player development, personal development. Taking these young men from boys to men and preparing them for the next level. And that's why you see some of the best players in the country not even being recruited to Montverde, but saying, hey, coach, do you have a spot for me?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was just this year, 4 of their starters from either the year before, first-round draft picks in the NBA. Cade Cunningham, that group.
Yes.
Scotty Barnes, Stewart.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Four players on one team in
4
the first
guys.
round.
Well, yeah, that was just 4 guys they had in the first round, and then they've got other guys off that team all playing in college somewhere.
Well, my high school, we had a couple of guys who got good city jobs. we got good city jobs.
Yeah, well. Most of that was because you were cherry picking the whole time you were in the game.
It was my fault. Maybe if I played a little bit of defense.
Might have helped them out a little bit.
I'm telling you. But you don't know. This was before Justin started his recruiting service. I was known as probably the best power forward in the nation under 6 foot. I was the best 5'10" power forward in the nation.
I can see that.
All the recruiting services back then had me. This was before the internet, though, so it's hard to find those records. Here we go. Wheeler will have it down by 4. They'll try to work it on the inside. Nice power dribble up and under and lays it in. Arrington Page.
And that's what they're going to need to do. They're going to need to find the easy ones. Get inside, make something happen.
That's a good possession. Arrington Page has improved since the summer now. He looks a lot better.
Rebound brought down by Brown. Gamry on the outside. Gamry will pull for 3. Should have set his offense up on that one first.
I love the way Whitehead goes down and rebounds the basketball.
Nice pass underneath, ball knocked away.
Probably didn't need that dribble.
You speak about a point guard being able to go down and rebound, and if he can grab the rebound, he can start to break himself. He's off and running. Oh, look at that. Just snatched it away from him.
Well, one of the things I look at when I'm recruiting a player is I look at positional size. And Derek Whitehead has that. I'm looking out on the floor. I would say that he's at least 6'6", and his ability to defend multiple positions, rebound the basketball, push the tempo, play above the rim, knock down shots. I mean, he's a guy that if he doesn't grow another inch can play at the next level. He's listed by ESPN as a small forward, but he's been playing and pushing the 1 for Montverde with Sky Clark out. They have him listed at 6'6". I see him, 6'6", 6'7". I mean, he can play that small forward role. He can play that 1 through 3. I think that's what you're talking about when you look at an elite level, next level player.
It's interesting you say he plays the small forward role, because it seems like every time I've seen him play, he's been pushing the ball up court. That's why I called him a point guard.
100%. I don't know why ESPN has him listed as a small forward. I mean, but again, nowadays we play in the game of positionless basketball, which I think applies to everybody but your point guard. When people say, hey, it's positionless basketball, I get it, but you still need a point guard. You need somebody that understands pace, tempo, flow, knows how to get guys into sets, knows how to put guys in the right positions to be successful.
You do. You remember back to Pebblebrook, they had 5 guys who could take it off the board, though, and take it the other way. I think that's an example of positionless basketball, yet they still have a guy who can bring them out, run the offense, make decisions for them. You still need that guy.
Absolutely.
That is true. Somebody has to set the offense up out of the inbound pass. Here we go. They'll move it around. 3-pointer comes up way short. Somebody must have opened the door when he shot it.
I'll tell you, it always makes me feel good when we talk basketball, and I have the opportunity to sit next to one of the greatest coaches and high school basketball history. And I'm not just saying Georgia, high school basketball period. I'm sitting next to one of the great coaches, and when him and I agree on different things about the game of basketball, it makes me feel good. I've done my homework. A little bit of it's rubbing off. Sitting next to the
Well,
coach.
I tell you what, I need to send you a check for saying all that. I appreciate it.
Javon Gamery hits the 3 at the buzzer to make it a 1-point game. Going into the second period, the score 16-15, Montverde over Wheeler. Welcome back to the start of the second period. The score 16-15, Montverde on top of Wheeler here at Holiday Hoopsgiving. Leading scorer, Javon Gamery. He had 8 points, 8 points for Wheeler. Leading scorer for both teams. Isaiah Collier, he'll get it. Elbow jumper off the rim, no good. Claris Amir put that one up. Working on the block. Renau, oh, what a beautiful move. Malik Renau.
Elite post move right there.
Montverde can get whatever they want to on the block.
Mm-hmm. Right now, see, one thing let's look at this post move. Look at how he works. Spins, comes up under. Nice move.
Pro work.
9 times out of 10, somebody walks when they move, when they try to make that move. He did a great job.
Pro work.
And one thing, when you look at Wheeler's one of probably the best school in the state of Georgia, best public school in the state of Georgia, period. Public or private. They're always there. But when you look at a school like Montverde, you can tell these are kids who work in the weight room. You can tell they have a meal plan. They have what I call college-ready bodies already. And that's the difference between a Wheeler and a Montverde, just the physicality of these teams.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's what I like to call access, right? So Montverde has full-time access to certain modalities needed to get a player better, where most public schools, those kids may be able to go out and get it, or may be able to know where to find it, or may be able to seek out and find a trainer that can do that. It's a difference between having full-time access to that and it being already set up and prepared for you, and having to seek it out to go find it.
I'll tell you where the biggest problems, the two biggest problems, nutrition is number one, and number two is a full-time guy in the weight room that knows basketball weight training. He's not a football coach who trains in the weight room, and he's not the basketball coach who has limited knowledge about weight training. He's a strength and conditioning coach who knows something about basketball and works a plan just for your basketball players. Those two things you just can't get in high school. Some high schools have the strength and conditioning guy. Nobody has the nutrition where the meal plan is happening for those guys. You don't see them long enough to get that done.
It was amazing. I got to take a trip down to Bradenton to look at our IMG Academy and how they have everything set up down there.
Listen,
it make me wish I was 16 again.
The biggest difference I used to tell families when we were talking about whether they should send their child to Spire was, I come from a world of strength and conditioning. My educational background is in exercise science or kinesiology. And I would tell guys all the time, tell families all the time, players all the time, in the sports-specific training space, I have 2 hours to work with you. You have 22 hours to mess up everything we did within that 2 hours. When you go to a Montverde, IMG, Spire, etc., that window is closed on the time that kid has to mess up what you've done, because you have control over the diet, you have control over the recovery, you have control over all those different things so that you're able to spread out that 2 hours and shorten up that 22 hours.
Oh, what a cut underneath. Oh, couldn't get it to stay down. They'll scrabble on the floor for it, and Wheeler will come up with it. There's the outlet to Zay. Move it over in the corner to Burns. Oh, could not get it to fall.
Good pass there from Collier. That's another one of those SBAs. Should have been an assist. He made the right read, got the ball to the right player in the best position for him to be successful.
You guys should have given that ball up a long time ago.
Look at that. Trying to step up and take the charge. Check out the replay. You know, you're about to get into Sly's pet peeves about high school basketball, and that's one of my pet peeves right there, Justin. They do not have the charge line, the horseshoe on the inside. I think that is something that is needed in high school basketball. You need that not only because I think a charge underneath the basket is rather silly, but also safety reasons too.
100%.
You got somebody trying to slide under a guy who possibly could be going up for a dunk. Somebody could get hurt on that. That's one of my 3 pet peeves in high school basketball. We'll probably reach them tonight. We'll probably reach all 3 of them tonight. Because I'm an angry old man shaking my fist at some of the things in high school basketball. Now they have my other pet peeve, but we're getting to it now. Whatever happened to the little kid underneath the basket? I remember growing up, you used to have somebody's little brother or the coach's kid or coach's son or something. Somebody would wipe up the sweat with a towel underneath the basket, man. Whatever happened to the little kid? They don't have any more little kids with towels underneath the basket anymore, man.
They wanted a contract.
They've been unionized.
Yeah. They wanted concession stand stuff. They wanted all kind of stuff.
Free throws good. Jalen Hood Shafino.
And Sly, on that previous play, you said he was supposed to give it up. Guess what? He came out the game because he didn't make the right read. He earned a trip to the free throw line, and Coach Kevin Boyle said, no, we're going to play basketball the right way.
Right.
And that's why colleges love to recruit players from Montverde, because they know they have a higher level understanding of the game of basketball.
They'll move it around now. Gamory will have it back up top. Gamory will work off the hard pick. Gamory in the lane. The little man taking it to the land of the trees. Javon Gamory.
All that happened because you didn't have a big guy who could play the ball screen.
Yep.
He stayed back, got attacked, and it was over with.
Now working around the perimeter. They wanted to find Owachiku on the inside.
Collier nearly got the steal. Teammate wasn't able to come up with it.
Montverde will keep possession.
Throw the ball, son.
You got to get rid of it. The elbow jumper from Vincent and the tap and the follow's good. They gave it to Whitehead. I would have gave it to Mitchell, but the announcer gave it to Whitehead.
We'll see who the scorer gives it to.
Wow.
Step back jumper, no good.
You can't do that down 5 against Montverde. You know, against arguably the #1 team in the country. You have to make each possession count. And yeah, you might not score on every possession. That's not realistic, but at least make them defend and play basketball every possession. Try and get to the basket, try and make something happen, force them to defend, possibly get to the free throw line and get one of their bigs into foul trouble. You can't just shoot contested 3 balls.
You hear coaches say sometimes you could get that shot right there that he just took anytime in the 35-second clock you wanted. No need to take it right off the bat when you're looking for a better opportunity.
Absolutely.
Now, it's interesting you said arguably the best team in the country. Now, put you on the spot. Now, who do you think is the best team in the country?
Too early to tell, but I like Montverde. I like Link Academy. I think both of them are extremely deep. Each of them can go 8-9 deep, and 8-9 high-level, high-major players. I think that they're both exceptionally well coached. You have Kevin Boyle on one side. On the other side, you have phenomenal job being done by Rodney Perry. Both of them have great coaching backgrounds. Rodney Perry was a collegiate coach. So, I mean, when you look at teams that deep with that level of connectivity, guys 1 through 9 going to high major programs, sacrificing for the greater good of the team, along with elite level coaching to match, those two teams can beat anybody in the country on any given night.
Tariq Whitehead, he'll split them, get one of two.
Not to mention Oak Hill's talented. They're always very talented. Lalamir's talented. I mean, there's a lot of really, really good teams across the country, but out of the guys that I've seen and have multiple opportunities to see this year, Montverde and Link Academy are the two that stand out to me the most right now.
And I'm going to be a little bit like Steve Spurrier, the old ball coach. Early in the season, I'm going to give a first-place vote to the Columbia High Capitals from Columbia High, South Carolina. Coach Spurrier, when he coached football at the first coaches poll of the year, he always voted for Duke as the number 1 football team in the nation. So I'm going to do that for my alma mater, even though we hadn't won a game in 2 years.
Big time move.
Shot clock violation.
First one of the day.
Yep.
First shot clock violation of the day.
Understanding the time on the clock there, I would have liked to see Collier try and finish at the rim there versus dropping it off. He made the right read, a good basketball read, but at some point you have to get aggressive and try and finish there with the shot clock wearing down.
Whitehead from the wing doesn't get that one to fall. The putback and throw down. Dylan Mitchell going above the rim and throwing it down.
I've seen Whitehead play several times. If he's got an area where he's got to get better, his outside shot is one of the places that
Absolutely.
he's got to get better.
Got the confidence of Steph Curry with the shooting touch of a Montverde alum, Ben Simmons, right now.
Yes. Yeah, he's got to fix that. Have you seen Oak Hill play this year?
I have not seen them play yet this year.
I think they're dropping off a little bit, in my own opinion. I don't know.
Yeah, they're not the same
Yeah,
Oak
they're
Hill
not the same Oak
old.
Hill that we've seen before.
Well, there's some changes that have taken place there. Corey Alexander's no longer there. It's been a long, long journey for Coach Steve Smith. He's got a really good team this year, so it's going to be interesting to see once they all mesh and gel. Chris Livingston hasn't been playing. He's dealing with an injury, so still early again. I mean, it's November, so let's have this conversation again in February.
Montverde. Not Montverde. I got all tongue-tied. Oak Hill, for a long time, has been the class of independent prep schools in the nation. You go and look at that little gym they have, and they have all of those jerseys on the wall of the kids who went D1 college. It's something amazing, man, what they have over there at Oak Hill.
Yeah, you know what? And I think the reason why you're starting to see a little bit of a fall off is because you're seeing a parity in prep schools. Back then, they were the benchmark. They were it, right? And above that, a lot of these kids nowadays could care less about what you did for somebody in the past. They want to know, what are you going to do for me, and how are you going to do it? And Montverde, IMG, they have a different level. Link Academy, they have a different level of facilities and a different level of modalities to prepare these guys for that next level, and Oak Hill just doesn't have that.
I was going to say, have you ever been to Oak Hill?
Yeah, that's the only thing there.
There's nothing there.
Yep.
So if you've got internet and TV, you just stepped up above Oak Hill as far as recruiting kids or getting kids to come play there.
Yep. I mean, you have schools like Brewster that look like college campuses. You have IMG, looks like a college campus. You have Montverde. I mean, when you have the level of facilities and the level of staff that these places have, these kids could care less about what you've done in the future because, quite honestly, none of these kids are, and some of them maybe, so let me not say none, but a small majority of these kids are choosing a prep school based off of they might win the national championship.
Right.
They're choosing a prep school off of who's going to better prepare me because I'm trying to get to that bag.
And can I play? Can I get minutes there? Can I get better?
Yep. Who's going to help me be an NBA draft pick?
Right.
But it's interesting. It's interesting. You look at, you talk about a school that's in the middle of nowhere and they still manage to win. One of my favorite prep schools is Huntington Prep. Huntington Prep's out there in West Virginia. Who wants to go to West Virginia? But the job that Coach Akel Bruce does over at Huntington Prep, getting big-time players in there, and not even the big-time players, getting the guys in there who are really good, and they still manage to win.
See, that's what I was going to say. I was going to touch on that. So Akel Bruce has done an amazing job of getting guys to overperform and over-deliver. Yes, he's had some lottery pick type pros in the past, but if you look at his roster, you look up and down his roster, none of those guys would go and start at a Montverde or go start at an IMG or go start at a Link Academy. Mm-hmm. Montverde, they're getting the number one player in the country in every class. You know what I mean? Akel has to coach, and that's why I think that what he's done has been spectacular and is not spoken about enough.
Just really proud of those guys at Huntington Prep. After sitting out last year, they had to find a new school. They had some issues with that, and they still came back and just performed really well. They beat Donda yesterday, had a close one today.
Yeah, and they beat Christian Brothers School last week in Kansas City. They dropped a bad one to Link Academy. It's just really, they're trying to catch their rhythm and figure out who they are identity-wise. And it's going to take a while. That's why, again, I try not to judge a team based off of the way I see them in November. Let's talk about them. I want to see them down the stretch. I want to see what they're able to do when we get into January, February, and ultimately March.
All right, here we go. 36 seconds to go. Wheeler will have it, and Collier will take it out of bounds in the corner. Trying to get it to Amir. Now he'll get it to Gamry. Gamry will come back out and set the offense up.
5-second call.
Gamry shovels inside, unnecessary dribble, and he paid for it.
Yeah, it's the little things. You can't do that against elite level talent.
The hard drive to the basket and the lay-in, too, for Malik Renaud. Gamry lost it, tried to go behind his back.
Here you see the finish.
Look at him now. Hard finish against the board.
How's Wheeler getting that ball back? Wow.
Yeah, I thought that went out on Gamry. Page launches at the buzzer, no good.
Page,
And that'll do it at the end of the quarter. The score, 31-21, 31-21 going into the half here at Holiday Hoopsgiving. Fellas, what do you think about that first half?
That's not Cade Cunningham's Montverde right there.
Yeah, I saw Wheeler kind of get away from what gave them the lead at one point, kept them in the game. They got away with that, started to settle too much for jump shots. They've got to get back to the way they started this ball game. It's kind of stretched out on them a little bit. It's 31-21. The biggest difference is points in the paint. Montverde has 22 to Wheeler's 8. And I think that's the difference. That and 7-second chance points for Montverde, 0 for Wheeler. So those two things, if they can clear up those two things, they'll have an opportunity to be in this game.
All right, well, you have it going into the half. The score, 31-21, 31-21. We'll see you back in the second half here at Holiday Hoopsgiving.
Chris Williams. Me and my wife Tiffany started the 7 Group, black-owned full-service sports event marketing company. This is Morris Gordon. Morris Gordon got me started in AAU. This is Julian Davis. Julius is my right-hand man. He helped me and my wife do everything from the high school side to the AAU side and now the college side. It all started, moved back home to Atlanta. I was Morris' assistant coach when he had a star-studded team. Then I switched over to Under Armour, went to Nike. When I went to Nike, we was blessed to have one of the best teams in the country. We left Nike right before EYBL started and was offered to come over to Adidas. We was number 1 16U team in the country, but we played up Adidas 17U. My wife would come to me and say, okay, Chris, you guys been volunteering your services and now we gotta make some shake. So that's how Holiday Hoopsgiving, the high school portion, started. Year 1, we had Wendell Carter, who's now with the Bulls. We had Udoka, who's now at Kansas.
Welcome back. Start of the second half. 10-point ball game. Montverde on top of Wheeler. 31-21. Let's see what type of changes will be made. Now, Coach, what do you say to Wheeler if you're Coach Larry Thompson?
You got to get the ball back inside a little bit. You got to take care of it. Take a little bit more time, get a better shot than they've been getting. Defensively, they got a battle on the glass. That's going to always be the biggest battle against these guys. You got to stay in front of them and keep them off the glass.
Right now, Coach Barry Browner, he used to always say these first 2 to 3 minutes of coming out of the half, those are the hot zone right here. It can totally blow a game open. These first 2 to 3 minutes coming out of half. Montverde will have it up top. They'll work it around. Whitehead, he'll pass it off to the side. Now they'll work inside to Vincent. He couldn't get that baby hook.
Yeah, he doesn't have he reminds me of a 7-footer we saw for Green Forest today.
Yeah, the touch isn't quite there.
Not ready yet. Yeah.
But I think that they'll have him ready.
Oh, yeah, they will. There's
By
no
the
question
time
about that.
it's time for him to step on campus, he's going to be ready to go, and he's going to provide a lot when he gets to USC. USC is land of the bigs. They've done a great job developing big men who have later gone on to be drafted in the first round.
I'm going to let you know the baby hook on the inside by Malik Renal. Now, I'm going to let you know that you said that wrong. That is the University of Southern Cal. The real USC is South Carolina, okay? Going to let you know.
I hear you. My bad.
Class of 2003, the real USC. Home of the #1 team in the nation. Don Staley and her Lady Gamecocks.
He went all the way to the women for that.
Hey, you got to hang your hat on something.
Got to get it where you can get it.
I'm telling you. Gamory gets to the hole and puts it in for 2.
I've seen Gamory play a lot this year. He plays with no fear.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good player.
Jumper's good. Now Collier. Oh, what a pass. Oh, throw it down. Arrington Page goes up high and throws it down with authority. But did you see that look from Isaiah Collier?
That's a beautiful pass. That's why I really like Isaiah Collier's game. He brings so much to the table. He doesn't have to score the ball to impact the game.
Look at Derek Whitehead going right back at him.
Wheeler wants to stay in the zone. Whitehead is going to wear him out in the middle of it, I think. At the moving.
Tried to get that pick and roll action going again. Didn't work. They'll bring it back out to Collier. Now Collier attacking the basket. Collier trying to put it off the glass. Couldn't get it to go. Shafino will have it on the outside. Over to Whitehead. Henry now.
got an array of post moves down there. He's a good-looking kid with his back to the basket.
Absolutely. Number 23 ranked player in the class of 2022 by ESPN. He's still available.
Somebody will get a good one.
Actually, I take that back. He's signed with Florida.
Florida, okay. Head on down to Gainesville. You know, I often I never understood why, you know, Florida, Miami, Hawaii doesn't dominate in all college sports, man. If I'm 17 years old, man, I think I might want to go to Hawaii.
Yeah, no. No.
Might want to spend my time in Hawaii.
I can agree with Florida, but in Hawaii level competition, you're not in a major media market. You're not going to get seen. Your games are playing super late at night. If you're trying to get drafted, you're trying to get to the next level.
Hey,
these guys are thinking about all that.
How long you got to fly to get to somewhere when you go on the road when you're in Hawaii?
Hey, man, you guys are bringing all the sense into the argument, man.
Yeah. Stick with Florida. Florida might be okay.
Look at me injecting common sense.
Putting common sense into the argument.
Sorry about that. I apologize.
17-year-old me would have loved to be in Hawaii. Jumper from long range, knock it down. Clarius Amir. Trying to get it down low. Nope, Whitehead will shoot from the outside. Nice box out. Now Collier. Collier running with the nice shovel underneath and the lay-in good from Kyle Burns.
He gets up the floor so fast.
Baseline to baseline quickness.
I don't really care what happens. Wheeler has acquitted themselves pretty well against Montverde.
Oh, look at the three ball, knock it down. Jalen Hood, Shafino.
And I expect to see Kevin Boyle give Isaiah Collier a big hug after the game and tell him, good job, son, because he's going to be wanting to make a phone call to him in the offseason.
Say, we got a spot for you down here in Florida.
And I know Coach Thompson doesn't want to hear that, but that's just the way the game goes.
The way it works nowadays.
Game recognized game.
Oh, Collier with the block from behind. Now Burns on the outside. Oh, ball poked away. Nope, they'll keep it. Collier have it. Collier with a nice drop off in the block.
SBA should have been an assist. Add it to the column.
It's just what I like about Collier. He finds his teammates. He finds that open man, and he makes the right pass.
Yep.
You know, you got a lot of people who pass, and it's the wrong pass. He makes the right one.
He's an elite level point guard with positional size. If he doesn't grow another inch before he graduates high school, he can play right now at the college level at that point guard position. He makes the right read. He doesn't hurt you. He has the ability to knock down shots. He can score. He can facilitate. He does it all. I understand why every school in the country wants him.
Yeah, he's a good one. He's keeps working. He's going to have a great future.
And you know what I like? I like about how he is a great team player. He has that team concept first. His freshman year, Wheeler was playing in 7A, and he was the starting point guard on a 7A school. That's the biggest classification in Georgia. He's the starting point guard, and I think he broke his leg or something. He broke something, and he was out for the rest of the year. And Wheeler still managed to win the championship. They still managed to win the state championship. Now, he could have said, oh, man, woe is me, woe is me. You know, I give up on this thing, and I'm just going to be a selfish guy. But he came back next year and still led Wheeler to another state championship.
Big time.
Like that kid. Oh, look on the inside. Ball stepped away, and it'll go down the other side.
I heard Coach Thompson yelling close short. Nobody on Montverde's team at this point has shown they can really knock a three-point shot down on a consistent basis. I think most of their guys are going to close out short on.
Now Gamriel have it up top. He has the mismatch, trying to go right by him. Oh, God. When you go by him and you run into a 7-foot monster like that on the other side.
Yeah, and he gets off the floor so fast. He contests everything. But that's where I like the ball in Collier's hands penetrating, because when you have a footer that's going to contest everything, that means with a heady, high IQ guard, he's going to be able to find the person cutting to get the easy dunk, the easy finish. They always say they like guys that can block and dunk everything, but for me, guys that can block and dunk everything sometimes open the lane for guys to cut behind them.
If you've got a good guard.
Yep.
And see, that's why I never played defense. I didn't want to open the lane up. Team player.
Hey, look at you taking one for the team.
I'll take one for the team. Shafino knocks down the second free throw. Uh-oh, in the passing lane, going the other way. Mitchell, throw it down. Dylan Mitchell with authority coming down the. Let's look at Dylan. Popping in the passing lane, and Dylan Mitchell going with authority. 2 hands.
Big time dunk. Man, just super athletic.
Trying to cause harm to the rim. It'll go off the foot and go the other way. Now Gamriel have it on the outside. Wanted to pick, not going to get it. Picked up his dribble. He's dead up top. Oh, what a find. Coach Thompson called timeout. Called timeout to kind of save him, but he would have waited half a second. He had his point guard made the right pass.
Yeah, you know, his point guard's always going to make the right pass. So I think he's got to trust him a little bit, but some of the other guys around him are not necessarily playing with the same level of basketball IQ. Basketball is not an equal opportunity sport, and everybody hasn't been gifted with the same abilities and the same IQ and the same, level of play. So it's tough. And this is the reason why a game like this early in the year, it can hurt you a little bit when we talk about losing a player to a top prep school, because he's over there, he's watching, he's saying, hey, man, if I make that read and I'm pushing the point for Montverde, that's a dunk. I made that read over here, it's a turnover.
Right.
You start to see a little bit of that, right? A little bit of that teammate envy, if you will.
Yeah, finding guys that can play a role and they'll play that role, that's tough to do sometimes. They want to get theirs most of the time, so that's a little bit different. I think Collier's got to have it in his hands most all the time for Wheeler.
Oh, nice baseline face-up jumper by Arrington Page.
Got a mismatch right there where the ball's at. I think I'd have rather had 5. He's still working, though.
He worked so hard. Malik Renault.
Big time play there.
Yeah, he's a good-looking player now. He's doing a lot of the dirty work.
Mm-hmm. University of Florida. We talked about Kwesi Reeves earlier.
Yes.
He's going to head down there to join him.
Kwesi, one of my favorites out of there, out of West Side High School.
Missed a lot of free throws, though.
The free throw, Some people say it's the easiest shot in basketball. Some people say it's the hardest shot in basketball. Technically, it should be the easiest. You're up there by yourself, right?
It's perspective. Depends on who you're talking to, who you're listening to.
Kick it back out. 3 ball on the outside. Page. Harrington knocks down the corner 3. Got us an 8-point ball game. Working off of the pick is Shafino. Send it back out to Whitehead. Whitehead. Oh, look at that. You're right. All the dirty work. Couldn't get it to go down, though. Shafino will have it. Now they'll send it back out. Evans for 3.
Kwame Evans, 6'8", from Baltimore, number 3 player in the country in the class of 2023. He's putting on a show for the college coaches in attendance.
Uh-oh, ball lost, going the other way.
Should have given it up.
Bad foul on that one right there. Dylan Mitchell again 2. Look at this replay.
Yeah, you don't want to hurt anybody, but if you're going to contest that, you've got to get his hands and make sure that he's not in a position to finish it. You already know you're fouling no matter what, so he's headed to the free throw line. Don't allow him to get the 2 points and head to the free throw line.
Exactly. And one thing I love about high school, but sometimes when you get on the really, really high level of high quality high school basketball players, you don't have the two-way players. And what I mean are the 2 sport players. You don't have a guy who plays football also. And, sometimes you need that football mentality out on the court. You need that toughness. Some of these basketball guys don't have that toughness.
Well, I mean, you're a football guy, so you know. Yeah. The Oklahoma drill has created more basketball players.
I love that meme. I love that.
Than anybody else. It's not necessarily being a fan of Michael Jordan. It's not being a fan of Eric Dickerson. Yeah.
Yes, sir. The Oklahoma drill creating more basketball players every fall.
I don't even think that drill's legal anymore.
The Oklahoma drill. There's a lot of guys who could be great wide receivers, but they're playing 2 guard for some basketball program. A lot of tight ends playing power forward.
Absolutely.
Collier throws it up at the buzzer and it goes in.
Big time shot from Collier there. They needed that. The gap was starting to close. It's an 11-point game. Headed into the 4th quarter. Now let's just see if they can walk them down in this final 8 minutes.
Keeps them close.
Here we have it going into the 4th quarter. Down by 11. Wheeler taking on Montverde at Holiday Hoopsgiving. Welcome back, welcome back. Start of the fourth period, The score, 51-40, 51-40. Montverde on top of Wheeler here at Holiday Hoopsgiving.
The thing that stands out to me the most, we talked about it at the end of the first half, and we're going to talk about it again here, and that's the points in the paint. 34-14, 20-point advantage for Montverde, 14-0 on the second chance points. Those are the two difference makers.
They'll send it over to Amir. Amir attacking the basket, lays it in with the foul. A hoop in the hall for Clarius Amir. Love the way he attacked the basket, picking up the foul.
This game is far from over. It's a game of runs. Let's see if they're able to string together one.
Free throws good from Amir.
Interested to see how Montverde plays in a close game. See how they execute with a little bit of pressure on them.
It's interesting when you have so many guys who are the top-rated alpha dogs, you know, when it's a close one, who do you go to? You find out who it really is, the alpha.
Well, I would be shocked if Zero doesn't touch it at some point.
There you go.
Almost immediately.
Shafino will have it up top. When all else fails, go to the biggest man on the court.
Throw it to the tall guy.
That's been the rule since Naismith put up the peach baskets. Almost walk with it. They'll get it back to Collier. Now Amir will have it.
I love that Collier doesn't force anything. He's good enough where he could force it, but he just doesn't. He understands the game of basketball and plays it the right way.
I kind of wish his teammates knew how good he was.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I wish for them.
Sometimes you take for granted what you got there. You just don't realize it.
Till it's gone. Till it's playing in the purple and gold.
Yeah.
I think he's related to Coach Thompson, though. I don't think he'll go. That'll be a hard Thanksgiving if he leaves.
Listen, they'll still pass the yams, knowing that he's getting prepared to go play at the next level.
Ball almost stolen away.
Dylan Mitchell has so much talent and ability with that size and length, the ability to put the ball on the floor, finish around the rim, knock down outside shots, play above the basket. Man, I'm telling you, Texas is getting a special one. Shout out to Uric Malagai, Jarrett Howard, and the rest of the Texas staff.
Shaka Smart down there in Texas, right?
No, he's in Marquette now.
Not anymore.
Okay, see. I only follow high school ball and the Lady Gamecocks.
There it is.
The #1 team in the nation, the real USC.
You go off the screen instead of in front of it. Have a dunk.
Coach letting them know which way you go
I
on
know
the screen.
that my ability to keep Sharif Cooper at McEachern instead of going to a place like that was, you can shoot it a lot with me. You might not shoot it at all when you go to one of those places.
Well, you know what, Coach? One of the things I'll say is you strike me as somebody that understands that it's bigger than the 94 feet that this game's played on.
Yeah.
And it's all about communication and honesty with those young men and saying, hey, you know what? Let's sit down and talk about it. And if you can show me a list of things that you're going to get there that you won't get here, then, hey, I'm your biggest supporter. And you can go ahead and make that move. But if I'm able to check off all those boxes and you get to sleep in your bed at night every night, what sense does it make?
Yeah, our ability to play a semi-national schedule with he and Isaac probably had a lot to do with both those guys staying around.
And that's interesting. Now he's speaking of Sharif Cooper and Isaac Okoro. Current Cleveland Cavalier Isaac Okoro and current Atlanta Hawk Sharif Cooper. Had him on that national championship team down there at McKeachin High School.
And with this full timeout, I want to make sure we take a moment to shout out the 7 group. They've put on a phenomenal event here this entire weekend. It's been elite start to finish. I want to make sure that we show much support to the SUVtv staff and crew, not just us on the broadcast team, but our videographers, the photographers, the people that handle logistics, our amazing producer. You know, we've done a phenomenal job here top to bottom, and that's the reason why SUVtv, to me, is the greatest platform for high school basketball. So I want to thank everybody that's shared this platform with me here over the course of the weekend. I want to thank, again, the 7th group. I want to thank Holiday Hoopsgiving's entire staff. They've done a great job of controlling the environment. The referees, they've done an amazing job. It's just been a great event, top to bottom, start to finish.
And you know, you talk about the 7 group and what they do here at Holiday Hoopsgiving. Top line, this is, at SUVtv, we're all over the nation. We're all over the nation. We're doing tournaments every weekend. Most of the time we're doing 2 to 3 tournaments every weekend, a couple of games during the week. And this is first class all the way. All the way every year. Chris Williams and his crew, they put on a top of the line event, well ran from the top to the bottom. A pleasure to work here. And I like to say, I remember I was here from the beginning. I love it.
Has to be one of the top 2 or 3 events in the state of Georgia.
In the nation.
Year. Yeah.
In the nation. Every year they bring in high quality teams. Right now, for you guys are watching, if you watch the league pass, or the pass for the weekend, and seeing all of the talent that we've had out here, a bunch of guys who will be getting paid a lot of money to play basketball. And you get to see it right here on SUVtv.
It's not easy to get Montverde to come to your tournament.
No, not at all.
They did a nice job getting them here. That pass,
travel.
That pass surprised him.
Let's look at the replay. Let's see. He wasn't looking for it. Yeah, he got away with the travel before the foul too. Vincent Iwachukwu on the line.
And he's going to be headed to University of Southern
Cal.
California.
There you go.
I made sure not to call it USC. We cleared that up early.
There you go.
Thank you, Slide. I will never make that mistake again.
Please don't. Please don't. Not as long as you're east of the Mississippi. You go west of the Mississippi, we'll let you say something. Vincent splits the free throws, knocks down the second one. Got away with a travel on that one. 10-point ball game. Wheeler still in this thing. Got to get a good possession here.
They need to put the ball in the hands of Collier right now.
And they just don't do it.
10 seconds on the shot clock.
He made the shot, but I don't understand how Collier goes an entire possession without touching the basketball.
As soon as he released it, I was about to say not a good shot, but it went in. Shows you what I know. Shafino with the floater. Doesn't get it. Page will get the rebound. And he'll throw it off the leg of Malik.
Really what we're finding out right here is the rest of the state of Georgia and Wheeler's class is in a lot of trouble this year.
A lot of trouble. There's 7 points within a team full of future NBA players. You know, it's interesting. It shows you how well the Montverde team scouts. And prepared for their opponents. They're out here calling offensive plays for Wheeler. They're saying the sets that Wheeler's running. They're calling UCLA stagger, the Iverson cut. They're calling it out, so their team, oh, he missed the roll. Set the pick, didn't find the roll. Whoa, nice lay-in by Amir.
This Wheeler team is very, very talented.
Got it within 5.
Let's see if Montverde tightens up a little bit here.
There's that guy. Mama, there goes that man, Darius Whitehead. 3 ball wide open in the corner. Can't get it to fall. That would have been huge. They needed that. Owachiku out high. Sends it to Whitehead. The big 7-footer.
Absolutely nothing you can do with that.
Can we get the ball to Collier just one time here?
Yep. That's what I don't understand. And part of that is I need him to go and get the ball.
He's just standing over here. Watching this guy go to work on a shot.
Yeah, he's got to go get the ball.
Bodies on the ground. They're slipping and sliding over there on the sideline. Referee's going to do cleanup duty down there. Wipe up the sweat.
Hey, when he gets it, you got to give him a little space. He's going to go right. You haven't given once left the whole game except for one time. How many timeouts do I have? Rebound, 2 shots. 1-on-1, box out. Go, 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 go.
Doesn't get the first free throw. Oh, no, 2-shot foul, 2-shot foul.
Box out, Malik, box out, Vince. Box out, Dylan. Box out, Vito. Tariq, move into Casey, kick it back. Casey's your kick out. Watch your press here.
Second free throw's good.
They're going to have a full timeout.
Full timeout here. The score 58-50, 58-50, just under 3 minutes to go in the Holiday Hoopsgiving. All right, we're back live. Live at Shiloh High School here for Holiday Hoopsgiving. Ball game's getting a lot closer. 8-point ball game, just under 3 minutes to go. Ball tipped away and stolen. Page will have it in the open court. Page will keep it, take it behind his back, and it goes in. No, they call travel. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Let's take a look at that again. Here's the instant replay. Page, 1, 2. I don't know if that's a travel. I don't think that is a travel.
Wow. If Lewis Preston was here, he'd probably be ejected by now.
Coach Preston may have went crazy. And Shafino working on the block. And Shafino will put it in for 2. Now Collier will have the ball. Collier setting up the offense. Collier kicks it to the outside. 3-ball, Amir. Clarence Amir for 3.
And just like that, Wheeler's right back in this ball game.
They run an offense like that all night long. Let him make the decision.
Now working off the pick, they switched. Didn't get him to him. Now Whitehead will shoot from the outside.
And they call a travel. They're calling for the travel. Wheeler coaches want that travel. It's a rocker step. I didn't see if he slid his back foot.
Let's take a look.
But that's what you call a rocker step. Yep.
Oh, he traveled.
Yep, he traveled.
Coach Thompson still upset at that travel.
Well, I mean, a travel there call makes it a 5-point ball
plus
game.
getting that one down there would have really tightened things up.
3-ball from Whitehead.
He is just not a great.
Technical foul. They're going to give a tech to Dylan Mitchell for a little bit of taunting on the end of that one.
Let's get a look at it. He must have said something.
Oh, he said something. He definitely said something. I saw it from this angle. You can't see his back was to. Let's see if we get, there we go. Check out this viewpoint.
Yep, screaming in his face.
See, here's the thing. Here's the thing, what you don't know. Dylan's from out of town. Wheeler, they're the hometown team. So after he dunked it, Dylan just said, where do we go out to eat afterwards? That's all he was asking. It was just, where do we go out to eat? What do we do after? That's all he was asking. He just wanted to know where were the local dining spots here in Atlanta. I'm pretty sure that's all it was, pretty sure.
You're giving him the benefit of the doubt?
Giving him the benefit of the doubt. Dylan seems like a good, outstanding young man.
62-54.
Had to clean up a little bit of sweat on the other end of the court. Now they'll get it back into Collier. Collier sends it over to Gamory, now to Page. Back to Collier.
Nice play.
Gamory couldn't get it to go down. Well-designed play, just didn't work. Now Shafino. Work on the inside, now we got a foul.
.62-54, minute left.
Now, it's interesting just watching Malik Renal play in the post, man. I enjoy how he uses his body, and then he uses a bevy of post moves down there on the block. Impressive. He's had a rough go at the free throw line, though. That's his first one he's made tonight.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see him much on the post in Florida, but he does have some moves down there.
And that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand when you're talking nice move for Collier. That's the thing a lot of people don't understand when you're talking high school to basketball or high school to college basketball. the high school level, I like to call it need-based. The coaches put you where they need you, where at the college level is want-based.
Right.
They put you where they want to use you at.
Right.
Near finish there for Collier. I really think that should have been given to Montverde in heavy doses. Him getting downhill, being able to make decisions, whether it be dropping it off to a teammate or finishing at the rim, he should have been the one with the ball in his hands this entire second half.
I mean, you can't argue with the result really that they had, other than, maybe you feel like they could have done a little better with him having the ball more, making more decisions. He's the smartest guy on their team. You think he needs to make more decisions that might help them in the long run. I don't know if this is going to do it, though, because everybody's feeling pretty good about the way they played, but I really think they could do a lot better.
Foul underneath.
And that's actually not a bad situation. I'll send Vincent to the line. Shooting 2 in this situation. Down 8. No time really came off the clock. I'm sure Coach Kevin Boyle wished he would have moved the ball around and tried to burn some time off the clock there instead of going at the basket.
And you know the difference between that foul and the foul that they had earlier. There's a foul that they had earlier where the guy had the breakout layup and he fouled him and still he managed to get the three-point play.
Mm-hmm.
That foul, he fouled the arms. He didn't allow Vincent to get his arms up to go ahead and successfully complete the shot. And I think you spoke of that earlier. If you're going to foul somebody, make it worth it. Well, Vincent hit both of them, so I still would rather take my chances of him 15 feet away rather than 2 feet away.
Absolutely.
Oh, Page couldn't hold on to it. It hit him in the worst place possible.
His hands.
Hit him in his hands.
Coach, man, he hit my hands.
Coach, I wasn't ready.
There's the foul. Coach Thompson playing a little bit of offense, defense. Got my favorite part of the game, got his goon squad in. Squad in, ready to pick up the foul so he can bring the offensive guys back in the game. My old high school coach used to always say, everybody has one thing. Everybody has 5 fouls.
Yep. You can't take them home with you. You can't take those 5 and add them to your 5 that you get next game.
Mm-hmm. First free throw's good.
It's actually a very good game, something to build off of for Wheeler. There's a lot of things that they can get better at, but also being able to hold one of the top teams in the country to under 70 points.
Be a great film to watch.
Page comes over and commits the foul, and the Wheeler faithful over this. No foul. Let's get out of here.
You have to appreciate a kid wanting to play down to the final second.
And I think this is another thing that separates the great from the good. Right now, Montverde they're up 13. Coach still standing on the sideline coaching. He's still out there coaching, giving instructions, saying this is what we need to do. This is what you need to do.
Well, believe it or not, he's nervous. This is a close game for them.
Yeah, I mean,
he's coaching it to the end.
He was up nearly 40 and was up coaching the entire game against Real Salt Lake. So this is what I expect to see from him.
Get over the half court. Pass it. Pass the ball.
Jump ball, 9 seconds to go.
There you have it.
That'll do it. This is it for Holiday Hoopsgiving. Final score 70-55. 70-55. Montverde over Wheeler. Fellas, what do you think before we get out of here?
I think it was a phenomenal weekend. I like that game to cap it off. You might look at the score and see a 15-point victory, but what I see is a very, very good Wheeler team competing against a super team in Montverde Academy that's coached by a legend. So I see a lot of positive things to take away from that game for Wheeler.
A lot of great talent out there. Great day, great tournament. It's good for high school basketball, especially the last game. Two great teams. A lot of fun. Enjoyed it with you guys.
Well, he's Coach Mike Thompson. He's Justin Brantley. I'm Sly the Sports Guy. It's been a great weekend. We'll see you back next year here at Holiday Hoopsgiving on SUVtv.